You know, even though I'm living in a bigger place now, I realized something funny the other day. I still live like I'm in a small apartment. There are just a few certain small space habits that have just stuck with me, and I don't think I'll ever give them up. They make life easier and calmer, and they keep me from drowning in stuff that I don't even want. So today I'm sharing the small apartment habits that I still use every day. Hi, I'm Susan, and welcome to the channel. Habit number 1, the one in, one out rule. This one saved me when I was living in my small apartment, and it's still saving me now. Whenever something new comes in, a sweater, a mug, a kitchen gadget, then that means something else has to go out. Not in an extreme way, but in a let's not get carried away kind of way. I have to admit, I am a sucker for dishware. As soon as I go into a store or a thrift store, I go right to the plates and mugs and serving dishes. But I always have to remind myself, I reach for the same darn mug every single day. And it's not like I'm throwing any dinner parties. I really don't need any more dishes or dishware, but I do have to admit, sometimes I do give in. And it's the same with clothing. I mean, how many denim shirts and gray sweaters does one person need? In small spaces, you learn that every item does have a cost, whether that's the cost itself or cleaning, storing, thinking about it. And guess what? Bigger spaces don't magically remove that cost. They just hide it better. Habit number 2, clear surfaces equal a clear mind. I used to keep my apartment surfaces completely clear because it was the only way to keep the place from feeling cluttered. And now that I have more space, I still like clear surfaces. Flat surfaces, counters, tables, dressers, floors, can definitely act as clutter hotspots or magnets for random items. What starts as just 1 or 2 items, well, it quickly invites more. And a messy surface signals that it's an acceptable place to put things. So it's really important to stay on top of these areas. There's something so peaceful about walking into a room and seeing clean countertops and uncluttered table surfaces. It just instantly calms my brain like, okay, no chaos today. And chaos can quickly happen in any size home. I have this little area where I keep my papers and reminders of things to do. I'm a visual person. I need obvious reminders to keep me on track. If it's here in this one little area, then it means it needs some sort of action from me. And I don't even use a tray here because then that signals that it's a home for something. And I don't want any papers to actually live here. They're just here until I've dealt with them. And then they get filed away, or even better, if I don't need the paper copy, then I toss it. A major reason for clutter is not having a designated home for every item. If keys don't have a specific hook or bowl, then they end up on a random surface. When there's no clear system, then items are just put down wherever it's easiest at that moment. And that quickly leads to clutter. Habit 3, the 5-minute tidy. Small apartments get messy fast. One pile of mail, one jacket left out, a couple of dishes in the sink, and suddenly it looks like a tornado came through. It's easier to say, I'll deal with that later, than to put an item away in its proper place. Piles of mail and laundry or unfinished projects accumulate on flat surfaces because addressing them requires an immediate decision. To file, to donate, to recycle, and that decision is easily put off. So I have a little nightly practice, a quick 5 or 10-minute tidy. Put things back, fluff a pillow, wash up the dishes. It does only take a couple of minutes, but it keeps the place from ever feeling overwhelming. And even in a bigger home, this keeps me ahead of the chaos instead of having to react to it. Habit number 4, shopping intentionally rather than recreationally. When you live small, you do not go to HomeSense or Costco just because. Because if you do, your apartment will tell on you. Now that I'm in a bigger place, I could easily fill it with random decor and furniture. The space is here, but I still don't do it. I've kept the small space mindset. I shop with a purpose. I buy only what I need. And things like maybes, well, they don't come home with me. Sometimes I have to remind myself, hey, you had one of those before and you donated it, so you do not need to buy another one. If there's one thing that I've learned, it's this. Things, and I'm talking about silly little things that you think you want, they're never going to make you happy. They'll never resolve that underlying emotion or desire that's making you want to buy it. You're only going to feel worse when you get it home. There have been many a time when I've come home from shopping and thought, why did I do that? What was I thinking? So for me, I really do try to avoid browsing in Costco or HomeSense. And let me tell you, it saves money, time, cleaning, and so much mental clutter. Habit 5, creating zones instead of filling rooms. Small spaces force you to think functionally. Instead of asking, what furniture would fit here? How can I fill this space? I think to myself, what do I want to do in this little area or space? A cozy reading corner, a space for work. I don't actually need a desk. This spot right here is just fine. A spot for my daily to-dos. It keeps the space more intentional instead of becoming some random furniture warehouse where I thought a certain corner needed something in it. Habit 6, editing my belongings regularly. Clutter grows quietly, almost like it has its own little personality. You turn your back for 5 minutes and suddenly there are 27 pens in the junk drawer, all out of ink. Clutter doesn't appear overnight. It's the extra receipt left on the counter, the extra sweater that you didn't need, the freebie that you received at some event that you don't even need or want. Each item is insignificant on its own, but it does snowball into a massive problem if not kept in check. So even though I have more space now, I still do a quick monthly edit of the junk drawer, of my clothing, of the bathroom cabinet. It just prevents buildup. 1 month while doing this, I may say to myself, oh yes, I still need this. I need to keep it. But the next month I'm like, heck no, this thing's gone. Keeping on top of it is fairly easy. Much, much easier than having to do a giant declutter once a year. Small space habits aren't really about the size of your home. They're about designing a home and a life that feels manageable and peaceful. A clean, uncluttered environment promotes a sense of calm and control, lowering stress levels. A visually pleasing and comfortable living space naturally lifts your spirits and creates a more positive atmosphere for both you and your guests. And having a bigger home, that doesn't automatically fix any clutter issues that you may have. If anything, it may amplify some of the problems. Holding on to these small space habits keeps my life calmer, simpler, more intentional. If you're in a small apartment or home right now, the skills you're using and learning are so valuable. They'll stay with you and they'll make any future home, big or small, feel so much easier and peaceful to live in. What do you do to keep your home feeling peaceful and less chaotic? What's one small space habit that's really worked for you? Let me know in the comments. I really love hearing about your experiences. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm so glad that you did. Please like and subscribe so that I could grow my channel. And until next time, I hope your days are filled with peace and positivity. Take care.